Hey guys, so I'm working on my ellipse cutting jig, and I'm going to make a new base for it here. That was a piece I cut out before, and it was a pain in the butt to cut because I was using hole saws, and I only had a 5-inch hole saw, and the base of the router is about 6 inches, and I said, it's not too happy with that idea. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a new piece out of this. I've drawn a 6-inch circle. I'm going to take my jigsaw or whatever's handy. I might use my scroll saw. It's a little finer, but I'll get it close to the edge of this, but I won't do it all the way around. I'll also cut out the center with the same diameter as the inner diameter of that, which is 3.625 there. And I'll rough cut that, and then what I'll do is I'll use one of these edge flush trimming bits, and I'll use this as a template to do the outside, riding up along the edge of that all the way around. And I'll use the actual base of the router to do the inside. I think that'll be a little bit easier and a little bit quicker, but I've got to get it close first because it's just too hard on the router bits to route it, all the way around, because it's cutting, full width of the router bit, and even though it's a fairly narrow one, that's pretty hard on it. Generates a lot of heat, wears them out, and they're cheap router bits. Anyways, I'm going to get to it. Okay, in case you're wondering what a scroll saw was, that's it. Basically, oscillates a thin blade up and down to make very, very precise cuts. You can see right there where I started to cut around there, and I just broke off to knock this big piece off of there. You can see it's quite a fine and thin cut, and people who are skilled at it can actually use it to cut right along the line, and apparently people cutting jigsaw pieces and making reliefs with them and all that sort of fun stuff like that. I'm absolutely useless with it, so I'm just using it as a crude, kind of a jigsaw. But I thought, in case anybody didn't know what a scroll saw was, you might find that interesting. Okay, so here's what I've done so that I can accurately transfer the location of these screw holes onto that chunk of wood, since I cut the inner diameter a little bit closer than I should have. So I got to kind of locate it fairly well, just so that I don't run out of material. I took some screws, I knocked the heads off of them, and then I went and I chucked them in a drill, took them to my sanding disc there, and sharpened them to points. So now I can just screw them into each hole to roughly the same height, and just give it a quick wrap. Set this where I want it, and give it a quick wrap with a hammer or a mallet, and it'll transfer the marks exactly where they're supposed to be on here, and then we'll just drill them out, and we'll be good to go. I'll back this thing up when I'm drilling it out with another piece of MDF so that the holes don't tear out as well. Well, there's the holes drilled, but of course it's at this point in time that I realized I don't have any number 10 by 3/4 inch screws. So this is going to wait till tomorrow, I guess. Later, guys.